Hey, I'm Allison.
And I'm Savannah.
We are two best friends who met and bonded over books.
We love reading across all genres and chatting about stories together.
Join us on our next bookish adventure. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fabled Friends. Today we are going to be discussing the books that we each read in November. And before we do that, our question of the day is what was your favorite book that you read in November? We want to hear about it. Tell us in the comments. We'd love to chat books with you guys, or once again, add to our TBR because there's no end to that. It's our favorite thing.
Yeah,
so
never enough.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump into it. Savannah, how was your November reading?
It was good. I feel like I read more than I thought, and I got back into audiobooks.
Fun.
So I think that also helped me read a little bit more than usual, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Good.
How about you?
My November reading was a little weird for me. I did have some good reads. I had some not as great reads, but I feel like I'm not very pleased with how I picked books.
Okay, interesting.
I think I wish I had picked more books that I really wanted to read, and I was just kind of reading, I don't know. I don't even know how I came up with these ones. They just...
Like just random books?
Yeah, I was just randomly picking up books instead of the ones that I've been really wanting to get to, and some paid off, some didn't. It's just kind of a weird month, but we'll get into it. So
Nice.
yeah. My first one was Normal People by Sally Rooney. I have been wanting to read that one for a while, and I read it. I picked this one up because I listened to it and it became available on Libby. And I did enjoy it. It was a 4-star read. I think that personal enjoyment might have brought it down a touch. I think we both said there was just not that like 5-star sparkle. I don't even know why. Because there wasn't anything that I was like, oh, I really hated this element. But it wasn't a 5-star book. But it was 4 stars. I loved that it gave me like a raw, real experience of these two people and what they were going through. It was really well written.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I know the people that don't like this book really struggle with the miscommunication, that often bothers me as well. This felt really true to how it might play out in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we weren't sitting in their minds with all the angsty thoughts with the miscommunication. We were just continuing through the story. It spanned a few years, and I think because of that, it really didn't bother me.
It didn't feel like a plot device of like a breakup miscommunication. It just felt like that was real life.
It made sense for those characters.
Yeah, they were bad at communicating to each other.
They've been through it in their lives, and so where would they have learned good communication skills? Not in their family.
No.
So,
It felt true to them, and I feel like it's a character-driven book first and foremost, and so that made sense for the story.
Yes. So if there's any kind of trope or plot device that I don't typically like, if it is well done in the way it was here, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So. Did you do audio for this one?
Yes. Yeah, I liked it a lot on audio.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know how I'd feel about the no punctuation thing.
I think that would have made me crazy.
Yeah, I think it would have hurt my enjoyment of it.
Yeah. As I was listening, I was like, how does the narrator know that this is this person jumping in right there? Because I don't think I would have known that without the the quotation marks and everything else. So the
audio was very well done.
It was, yes.
The Irish accents are
that is why
so
I got
good.
I definitely wanted to hear that, and it was great.
Nice.
Yeah,
love it. Yeah. The first book I read in November was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. This was for my book club, my in-person book club, and it's a story about set in near future Earth. Earth is really struggling. The seeds are dying, so there's lots of drought, and Earth is just burning, and the sea is rising. Anyways, it's in a bad place. And on this island, there's a seed bank where they're storing seeds in case they need to replant crops and things to help humans survive. And this family lives on this island, and they're in charge of taking care of these seeds. A woman washes up on the island, and she's looking for her missing husband, whom she knew that he was on the island at some point. And so there's a mystery there, and also the relationship between this woman and the family and secrets. And I think my favorite part about this book was the setting. It is so atmospheric in that this island, there's a lot of ghosts on the island, maybe not in the literal sense. It just feels like there's a lot of unfinished business on the island, and you can feel that spookiness. There's lots of storms and lots of, I don't know, just creepy things, and but also really beautiful things with, you know, the penguin, like just the animal life on the island. So it's well balanced. I think the setting was just very, very cool. And I really liked the mystery of it, of getting those little breadcrumbs throughout and then the big reveals. And I would say that the ending makes it a very high emotional impact for me, and that's what made me give it 5 stars. I think I was at a 4-star throughout, and then once the ending happened, I was like, oh yes, that's what needed to happen to make this a 5-star book. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and I think all the people that read it for my book club really enjoyed it too. And I think it's doing well.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people like it.
Do you feel like pacing? Where are we at? Is it a slower burn?
I would say yes, it is a slower burn, but also it is a shorter book.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of pages.
Do you think I'd be fine? Do you think I'd like it?
I think you would.
Okay.
I think the plot, if you're telling the plot to someone else, it feels slow, but because there's all these little breadcrumbs of all these things you're trying to figure out, whether it's the main mystery or the relationship that the people in the family have, like there's lots of little things you're trying to figure out that pull you along, that you're trying to figure out. So I think for that, I think you would enjoy it. Okay. Especially on audio. I feel like I've heard that the audio is amazing because they have Australian accents, because it's an island outside of Australia. So you could try that too. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that on audio, I think. Yeah. I'm feeling the FOMO a bit. Yeah. A lot of people read it. Good. So yeah, and it's like a quick palate cleanser read. So yeah, cool. I think you'd enjoy it. I'll have to add it to my never-ending TBR. Yes, exactly. And Libby, yeah. Yes, that. Okay, my next one, I needed a little Christmas palette cleanser, so I picked up Merry Little Hate Notes. I read it on my Kindle. Who was that by? By Jennifer Peel. Okay. I've read her books before. She's an indie author. She writes sweet romances, and yeah, I've read a couple of her books, and they're fun. They're cute. They're little palette cleansers. This one is basically Hallmark with a touch of depth to it. Okay. So perfect for Christmas. Yeah, it was perfect for Christmas. I'm a sucker for notes. Yes, you are. Letters, notes, it doesn't matter. There's sticky notes in this book, and I loved that aspect. Cute. So I gave this one 3.5 stars. It got the 0.5 because it had a little more depth. It was definitely cheesy at parts, but I expected that, so it didn't bother me. You know, my bar was set appropriately. Yeah. But I did enjoy Expectations were a little low. Yeah. Yeah. And it was fun. It would be a Christmas book that I would recommend. Okay. Yeah. That's a win. Yeah. I like it. I'll take it. The second book I read was also a Christmas book, but very opposite to that. It's Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan, which you read before. Mm-hmm. This one was also from my book club for next month's pick. This month's book, the book of December. And it's a short story, basically. I don't know if novella, short story. It's set in 1985 in this small Irish town during Christmas time. And this character, I think he sells coal or something, and then he goes to this church. And anyways, it's just all about him thinking about other people in the town and how this town is kind of run by the Catholics, like the religious people. And anyways, it's just a very lit-ficky story, and it's very short. So I gave this book 3 stars because it just felt incomplete and unsatisfying to me. I feel like for it being short, the setting was really well done, and I felt like I knew the character pretty well. I just didn't understand what the story was trying to accomplish, and I just didn't feel like the emotional impact of it. I don't know. I read another one by her. I think it's called Foster. Okay. It's also a short story, and that one felt way more complete and more emotional impact for
being a short story.
Okay.
This one I barely remember. I think I rated it higher than I should have.
I think you gave it 4 stars.
I do, and I think it's a 3-star in my mind now. But at the time, I think it was the atmosphere of it worked for me at the time. It was, I read it around Christmas time last year, I believe. But Foster was better for me.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I think I'll try Foster.
Yeah.
I just struggle with short stories and novellas in general.
I do too. But that one hit.
There's not enough time to develop the way I want it to be developed.
Yeah. And I do have to have that expectation set. But for Foster, it hit that expectation. Like, for a short story, this worked for me.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. All right. Wow. My next one, another Christmas book. This one I regret choosing.
Oh no.
So it's Across Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. This one
has been on our TBR for a long time.
It has been. It came out a few years ago, a couple years ago, and people were going crazy reading it and loving it, which I'm so happy for every one of you that loved this book. I wanted to love it too. I thought I would. It's basically a girl goes on a little cross-country road trip. She doesn't want to fly home for Christmas. She's going home with her brother's best friend. And it's like an enemies to lovers, which I love enemies to lovers when it's done well. But it's hard for me in like contemporary romance for it to be done well. And this was not done well, in my opinion. She was just so rude. So rude. So I can't handle it when they're that rude. And then also he's still just smitten. I'm like, but why? Why do you like her? She's so rude. No one's that pretty. Like, calm down. It made me crazy. And that dragged on too long. It was a 200-something page book. And it was going on for over 100 pages of her being rude. Every once in a while she'd be like, wow, I'm being really mean. And then she'd keep doing it. And I was like, well, maybe stop. Maybe
that's not going to help you.
You should think about that and then like apply something different to your life. So that really bothered me. And then the whole like reason why she was rude was so dumb.
Oh no. There wasn't even a reason.
The reason was so dumb. So it just did not work for me. It would not be one I would recommend.
I don't think I'm going to read it.
I don't think you should. I don't think you'd like it at all. But I have read other Courtney Walsh and enjoyed her.
Yeah.
This book was not for me. It was for a lot of people though. So if any of those elements sound good, it was Christmassy. I will give it that. There was a cute little Christmassy town. Couldn't look past the rest though.
I feel like, I don't know, contemporary romance is kind of hard to hit.
Lately we've been struggling a bit.
Yeah.
It's been hit or miss.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
The next one I read was The Compound by Aisling Rawle, and this is another near future Earth book where the Earth is burning and everything is going downhill, which apparently is
a great month.
My genre of the month. But man, I love this book. So it's pitched as like Love Island meets a psychological thriller, and I enjoy some reality TV now and then, and so I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And so it's basically all these people show up at this compound, and it's boys and girls, and they have to do tasks in order to earn stuff. And at the beginning when they get to the compound, there's no food, there's no like furniture, there's no toiletries, things like that. So they have to do these tasks to earn those things from the producers. Sometimes the tasks are super silly. Sometimes they're a little bit more of a risk, like hold your breath. Everyone in the compound has to hold their breath underwater for a minute in order for you to get water for the next day. Things like that. And so it gets really intense. Another aspect of it is that these people, they have to be in the same bed as the opposite gender every night, or they get kicked out of the compound. And like, not that they have to like do anything, but they just have to be in the bed with them at night or they get kicked out. So that's another aspect of them like pairing off, like Love Island vibes. I would not either. Anyways, it was such an addicting read. I read on audio. I loved it. I was completely enthralled with what was going to happen next. And I also really, really liked the themes of consumerism and how far are you willing to go to just get stuff, and if that stuff is even worth it, worth more than relationships, worth more than your safety or your, you know, your mental health. I just found that super, super fascinating, and also just very prevalent for the world that we live in today, where Earth is burning and also we're just buying a bunch of crap all the time.
That's a little too relatable.
Yeah. So yeah, I loved it. I had a great time reading it. It was a 5-star, mainly for the reason of personal enjoyment. So.
Love that. I put it on Libby immediately after you told me
Yes.
about it. So I'm excited to listen to that one eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one was my 5-star read of the month. It was The Correspondent by Virginia Evans.
I want to read this one so bad.
My heart. It's, spoiler, gonna be on my top 10 of the year.
Really?
Yes. I loved it.
Well, it has letters in it.
It has letters in it. It does. That's why I picked it up.
Yes.
But my goodness. So you're following Sybil. She's in her 70s. So following her at later in life, and she has always been an avid lover of writing letters to people. So she has a friend that she has written for years and years and years. She will send letters to authors that she read their books and enjoyed them, and she's a little snarky. It's really fun. Like, why did you do this or whatever? But
that's cute.
She has letters to neighbors. She has letters, just anyone in her life. She's going to send letters to. She has a letter exchange going between her and it's a friend of hers son. The friend is struggling with this son. He's a little bit different, and Sybil connects with him really well, and so they are able to have this really sweet relationship, like a grandmother-son relation or grandson relationship. And the letters were funny at times. The character growth was outstanding. You just see Sybil make mistakes and then work through some of that. I cried reading this book. It was just so compelling and interesting. Each letter. I also loved the aspect where you don't have the full story at times, but then as you read more letters, it's all parsed together. Because of the way it's written, you're only reading the correspondence throughout. And yeah, the last bit solidified that 5-star and top favorite of the year. It was so good.
Aww.
So good.
I love that it's character development of a character in her 70s.
Yes.
That's something we don't see very often.
I feel like I could learn a lot from her with that. And her as a mother to adult children, I'm not at all there yet, but I love to learn. I'm going to be there eventually. And I love to learn from people going through it, people who on the page make mistakes and then also rectify those. Give me all of that. I want to learn as much as I can from other people to help me do as well as I possibly can.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, so good.
I can't wait to get it.
I really want
Whenever
all of your
Libby
thoughts
gets
when
it to
you
me.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. My next was Where the Dark Stands Still. I have a wheel app on my phone, and this one, sometimes when I can't decide, when I have decision fatigue because I have too many books on my physical TBR, I'll do the wheel, and so the wheel chose this one. This could be classified as a new adult. Basically, I think it's YA, but the character's a little bit more adult-ish. But it's a Polish folklore retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So it is really focused on the Polish culture and folklore, and there's a lot of, Polish words and foods and monsters that are in this book, and so that was really interesting to read about. And I think that overall it was just a little bit slow to grab me. I wasn't super interested in reading it when I did, and I think I've just read too many Beauty and the Beast retellings at this point for it to feel unique for me. I think the Polish culture part was unique, but not unique enough for me to absolutely love this book. But I think for what it is well done, and I think that a lot of people would really love it if they were into those retellings and maybe wanted to learn more about Polish culture and folklore and things like that. So it was a 3-star. I enjoyed it somewhat, but yeah, I don't know if I would really recommend it to a lot of people. But I think it has a place.
You would have liked it more?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's hard to say, but I feel like I'm not super into Beauty and the Beast retellings unless... Yeah, I feel like Beauty and the Beast has never been my favorite fairy tale.
Makes sense.
But I think I probably would have liked it. It probably would have been a 4-star if I was a teen.
Yeah, still not a 5.
3-star for me.
There you go. All right. The next one is another Christmas book.
You went deep into the Christmas
I was chasing a high I never reached.
That's really sad.
That's so sad. I don't know why I thought I was going to get some sort of like amazing Christmas books. I would say I think I'm chasing the Cindy Steele Faking Christmas high.
You need to read Holiday Romance.
That's happening in December. I needed to wait until after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That's happening in December.
Okay, good.
But this one was The Takedown by Carlie Walker, which you loved.
I love this book.
I know. I feel like I read other like contemporary romances and they are silly and things are happening that you're like, that would never happen, and it doesn't bother me. And for whatever reason, this one made me crazy. So she works for the CIA and she's placed on assignment, and it just so happens to be the assignment is her sister's fiance, who is like a mob boss. Like, it sounds so silly, right?
It sounds amazing. I'm sure that happens in real life.
Totally.
Somewhere.
Yeah. And even that part didn't bother me. It was like everything throughout that I was like, that would never happen with the CIA. I don't know. I think I take the CIA too seriously or something.
Maybe they just party all day long.
Yeah.
Who knows what they do.
And I think if the romance was sweet. There were a couple of things. Like, I love a question game. So they were asking each other questions and getting to know each other on that emotional level. Loved that. So that part was really good, but I think it took a little too long with a lot of the silliness before for me to like ever really love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did give it 3 stars. It was like a good 3 stars. I think I would recommend it to the right people. It wasn't like, oh yeah, that was one I'm not giving to anybody, but I kept thinking throughout, this should be working for me, like on paper it should be working for me. So I wonder if my mood played a role.
It could have. Or just, I feel like that one was definitely right time for me.
Yeah
I loved it, but I can definitely see that it would not be everyone's favorite.
So for whatever reason, I did unhaul that one from my shelves though. So one less TBR book. I gave it to my sister.
That hurts my heart a little bit.
My sister has it now, so you'll be happy that she has it, and I bet she'll like it more than I did. Okay. So, yeah.
It has a good home now.
It does. She'll take good care of it.
That's good. All right, my next one was The Strength of the Few by James Islington. Very anticipated sequel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just as big as the first one, which is good because there are so many details in the first book and so many questions in the first book that need answering in the second book. And I feel like this book did a really good job of answering some of those questions, but also raising new questions, both in like small ways, but also big overarching like theme questions too that are explored in this book. And so in some ways it goes deeper and in some ways it goes broader, and I can't really go into specifics without spoiling even the first book. But I think that he is a master of weaving in these details and questions together throughout all of the parts of the book. It just keeps building and building and building, and you see how things are connected. And I think that I don't know how he keeps all of it straight. Like,
I don't either.
And this book is, there's a lot going on in this book. There's a lot to keep straight. I think as the author to keep straight, but I think it's really cool that even though there is a lot to keep straight, the reader can still kind of have some footing and still be able to follow what's happening, even with all of this crazy high fantasy stuff going on. I did give this book 4 stars just because it didn't feel as tight and energized as the first book. Also, I don't know if the first book can be topped. It just is perfection.
So
like, as we've said to each other, like, you were never bored in the first book. It just, that book is big. It never feels slow. I never got bored. It just was pulling me page after page after page. I unfortunately didn't feel that way with this one. I don't know if it was a mood thing or I don't know. The pacing just felt a little bit different. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, because I think that we do need to take some things a little bit slower to get all the details straight and be prepared for the next 3 books that are coming. But just personal enjoyment wise, it was a 4-star just because of that. So still really enjoyed it. Still can't wait for the next books in the series. But yeah, that's what I think of this one.
Yeah. And I think if he can land the plane and keep at least this level or higher, it's going to be an amazing series.
Oh, yes.
Amazing series.
And I bet he will.
Yeah.
I have no
doubts. No doubts. I'm actively reading that one right now, and I can see what you're saying there for sure. The pacing is definitely different, but we're comparing it to like perfection.
Yeah.
So
and also,
still great.
It can't be the same as the first book, right? There's like a totally different direction it's taking.
What's happening in this story, it makes sense that this is where we're at.
Yes, exactly.
So it's okay with me.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. My next one, this is the thing. Maybe this is what was going on with my reading this month. I did a little bit more on audio than I prefer to do, and I love audio, and it's totally a real way of reading, but it isn't my most enjoyable way. It's like I'm cleaning, I'm taking care of kids, I'm going to listen to stuff. And so I think that might be part of, I didn't sit down and read enough because we had a lot going on. So
and
maybe
that's where we get the most enjoyment is cozying up and reading our physical books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, an audiobook will just like blow me away because of the audiobook itself. But most of the time, that's not the case. I just enjoy it regularly, but I'm doing other things. But I want to sit and read a bit more this month.
Yes.
Okay, that being said, I listened to this one. It's That's a Great Question I'd Love to Tell You by Elyse Myers. She's like a social media person. Really funny.
Yes,
right?
she's hilarious.
Yes. She has talked about this on all of her channels, but she has ADHD. She's on the spectrum, and she shares a bit about that, but without talking about it. She's basically, so it's her memoir of a portion of her life, I'd say. She's very young to have a memoir.
Yes.
But
she's like our age, isn't she?
Yeah. We're not old enough for that.
No.
So the beginning was wild. It was very much her personality in an endearing way, but it was also like, wow, a lot is happening here. But it made so much sense for her.
Yeah, that's just her.
It totally was her. Completely true to her. There were quite a few moments that the secondhand embarrassment was a little much for me. I struggled a little there.
Even watching her videos, I feel that too.
It all makes sense. If you watch any of her videos, this book was it. It made sense. But I loved the second half, talking about her and Jonas, her husband's relationship and how they met. And it's a little unconventional just because of who she is in the cutest, sweetest way. And he is they are such a great match. You can tell. So that was really fun. That bumped it up. I think it would have been a 3-star. That second half bumped it to a 4 for me.
Nice.
Yeah. And again, I think I was a little generous rating, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of hard to rate memoirs anyways.
Yeah, I don't like to rate them low, so I'll either not rate them or rate them a little higher.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
The next one I read was A Holiday by Gaslight by Mimi Matthews. This is probably going to be my only Christmas book of this year, just with my reading. But yeah, this one has been on my Kindle for a while. And it's a Victorian era Christmas novella, and basically all about, historical romance. The female main character has some financial worries going on. Her father installed Gaslight into their, is it like a manor?
Yeah, something.
And it's an obscene amount of money, and he did it so that they could host this big Christmas party. And so it's basically takes place mostly at this manor during Christmas time. So there's lots of, cute Christmassy things that are happening, activities in the setting, and also just her romance, and also worrying about like the financial situation of their family. So I feel like for that reason, it was a good read for me because it wasn't just focused on the romance. It was focused more on other things like the financial stuff and family relationships. So it had some good tension there. And for a short story, I enjoyed it. Yeah. It was really good. 4 stars.
Yeah, one of those short stories. And I'm like, okay, I liked that.
This is how you do it.
Yes. If you're going to do a short story, this is the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good.
Good. Love it. All right. My next one was Lore Olympus, number 9.
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, there's not a ton to say about the story itself, but it's just a Hades Persephone retelling, but with beautiful artwork. That book needs to be read in paper format so that you can look at all of the gorgeous art. And I have Lore Olympus books as a palette cleanser. Just whenever the next one comes out, I'll read it in between, when I'm in a slump, in between heavier books, whatever the case. And it's always a good time.
Yeah, I feel like graphic novels are perfect for that change of pace.
I love, anytime I'm feeling slumpy or like I need to get through a book, sometimes I get that like itch. Like a graphic novel is going to be it for me. And I always enjoy it. Yeah.
That's awesome. I really need to read those.
Yeah, you do. I think you would like them a lot.
I know I would. I read them on Webtoon. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
A long time ago, but I obviously didn't finish it because they weren't all out by then.
Yeah, and the romance has picked up a bit. It's like still very minor in the story, but it's sweet.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
I really enjoy it. So
that's awesome. My last read of November was The Swan's Daughter by Roshani Chokshi, and a while ago we watched Swan Princess. And we were like, where is this movie in book form? Because we were watching the movie and it didn't hold up for us. We just didn't like it as much. And so we're like, we wanted a book that would do it justice. And I think that this book comes pretty close to doing it justice.
I love it.
I really love how many representations of love are in this book. So you have the parents' relationship, and the parents are actually like the dark wizard and a swan, and it's just really interesting. Their relationship, I think, is the most interesting part of this book. It's like a very possessive love, a very selfish love, but also a very caring love at the same time. And it's just interesting how you can have all of those forms of love at the same time, and whether it's healthy or unhealthy, it just is what it is. And so it's all about, they're one of their daughters who's also like this half swan. Anyways, it's kind of hard to explain, but she ends up going to this castle and there's a competition to marry the prince there. There's a lot of other things going on at the same time, but it just felt very fairy tale like. The writing is really, really beautiful, very well done, very whimsical feeling. And the competition for the prince, that trope isn't always my favorite, and so I feel like that's what made me take it down from a 5-star to a 4-star. I just find that trope very predictable and a little bit drawn out, but I feel like the prince of that trope either makes it or breaks it. And I really, really liked the prince's character. He was funny, he was a little bit head in the clouds. It just was a good combination. And it was also this, this serious plot of this prince has this curse that whoever he marries will stab out his heart. And so he's trying to find the princess or like a girl that won't do that so he can live. And so there is this tension, but it still feels a little bit cozy. Like it doesn't feel super dark. It has a very light, airy feel to it, as fairy tales sometimes do. So overall, I think I just really enjoyed it for the different kinds of love that it shows throughout all the characters, and what love can be and what it should be or maybe shouldn't be, and how you can make it work. Anyways, so that coupled with like the fairy tale vibes, which of course I love fairy tale vibes in a book. I liked it. It was a solid 4-star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think I would like it?
No.
No? Is it too cozy?
I don't know. It might be.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
I couldn't. There was parts you were talking about. I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. And parts I was like, I don't know if I'd like that.
I think if you're really in the mood for that Swan Princess retelling, like if you're in that mood, then I think it might hit for you a little bit. But otherwise, I don't know if you would like it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna run to that one then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save it.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
It's always fun to add stuff to my TBR, but it's really nice to take things off too.
Not feel like you have to read every single thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, my last one was Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli. And this one, like, feels like a book that would maybe drive me crazy, but it didn't.
Why would it drive you crazy?
It's like YA new adult with a character that is, I mean, you know this at the very beginning. She is trying to save witches because this is a world where there are witch hunters and they're trying to get rid of them all. And so if she has been spending her time saving witches and she's doing it when there's all these people against her and she's able to successfully get them out of there and, you know, all these heists going on that she's able to make happen, you would think she would be really smart. But there are many times in this book where she's not all that smart, where I'm like, clearly this is what's happening. And she's like, oh, weird. But I really enjoyed it.
It's a classic YA thing,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it was done in a way that it was okay for me.
That's good.
I didn't mind it. The chapters are short and it just has you going at a clip as you're reading it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't reading for the characters so much. They're not terrible, but I wasn't reading for that so much as a plot, story driven book, and that delivered. It also, I do love a really interesting idea throughout, the way, I won't say what it is because I think it's more fun to find it out, but just the idea that this author came up with to put in there with the witches and what's going on and how their magic works, loved that element. And so if you give me something really cool and well written in that way, I'm gonna like it more, even if you have these other elements that maybe don't deliver quite as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kept me turning the pages. I couldn't stop. And so yeah, I give it 4 stars. Like a solid 4 stars. I'm excited to read the next one. Solid, entertaining time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like too that it's like a female version of the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yes.
That's cool.
That was really well
We
done.
need more retellings of that.
It's such a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So I think because of everything else, I was like, yeah, you probably could have thought of that, but it's okay. We'll just look past it.
I'll give you some grace.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Yep.
Was that all of them?
That's all of them. Yeah.
Overall, a pretty good month.
It was, yeah. It was a little weird, but I feel like you need months like that too to really enjoy the heavy hitter good months. So.
Yeah, and hope you choose better books or books you're going to enjoy more, or like books you're in the mood for.
Yeah, I don't think I was as aware of what I was just grabbing, and then now next month I can be more aware of what I'm picking up.
Yeah, I like that. Don't forget to put your favorite read of November in the comments. We would love to hear. Also, feel free to follow us on Goodreads. We'll have those links in our description box down below. And until our next bookish adventure, happy reading.
Bye.
Bye.